So guys, we have completed up to what? SAS components is clear to all. SAS jargon is also clear to all. How to go for creating a dataset is also clear. Explaining the SAS code, which is called data statement, input statement, in format, cards, run, proc print is clear to all of you. Now
And
we'll start with how to create dataset from an external file. Creating a dataset from the external file path. I'll explain what is external file path. Going back to the folder for your batch here, what folder I'm using is here. So I'm creating SAS 2024. Yes or no? Inside this folder, there is a raw data. What is the data file name? Fixed format file. What is the file name? A1.employee list. If I open this file here, the file is coming like this. Can you see this? This is called fixed format file. What is called fixed format file? If you keep your cursor here, below it's saying line number 1, column number 1. If you keep your cursor here, it's saying line number 1, column number 60. Because each character is one column. Can you see this? How the column number is coming? Are you getting this, guys? Right. So 1 to here, which is 20, is what about customer last name. From starting from 21 to 30 is what? Customer first name. This is your starting from 31 to 35 is all about what? Employee code. Starting from 36 to 43 is all about job title. This is the date of joining, and this is called salary. Starting from 54, ending with 59. Yes or no? This is called fixed format file. Why it is called fixed format? Because it is a starting position and ending position as well. Now, how to go for reading this data to your SAS environment, I'll show you. In the raw data, you right click, you will say upload a file. Where you will upload this file? Choose the file which will go to what? Your D drive. In D drive, you're going for what? SAS 2024. In this, you have a raw data. This is the file. You can say open. Is coming, upload. Now, inside this raw data, you can see the file is coming. You can right click on the file now. You can say open. It will show the file which is coming as fixed format file. Understood now? Now, this is called a staff dataset. I will create data. Dataset name is what? Staff. Now, how will you go for reading data? You will say infile. Infile means you will give the file path. Right click, properties, and copy this location path. Did you see this, guys? Clear? We have to go to raw data, right click, properties, and copy this entire location and paste it here. This is called infile. Infile means reading the data into SAS file. Then I will go for using here input. Input as what? Last underscore name, dollar. 1 to how many characters? 20. Then we'll go for first underscore name, which is also dollar character, 21 to 30. Then you have employee underscore code was there, which is 31 to 35. You might be thinking, how do I remember this? Because I'm using this dataset for 15 years. So I know this position, how to read. Right? So this is called as what? Employee code as what? 31 to 35. Then job title, which is for what? 36 to 43. Then you have something called date of joining. Then you have something called salary, which is 54 to 59. This was given. You don't have to use cards now because already your data is reading from the external file path. You just have to simply say run. Are you getting this? Look at the data, guys. What is the date format here? MMDDYY format or DDMMYY format? MMDDYY. What is the length is given? No. Length is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not 10 also. It is 8. Now we are not using in format and format. We will run the program. It will create the output in what? Output window. It shows everything is coming. Does date of joining is coming? To get date of joining, what you will have to use? So that will come after input or before input? After. Input of what? Date of joining in format with in format of as what? 8 dot format. Now we'll use what format? Date of joining as what? MMDDYY 8 dot. If you run this program, what is happening? It is coming. Or you can say 10 dot. How does it matter? Instead of seeing this as what? 60, it will show 9060. Yes or no? Do it here. Is it coming 1960 now? Does it make sense? Now this is what you are creating the data set. Now how to print this data set? Proc print data is equal to what? So where it will print this output now? Which window? Results window. Very nice. Did you see this? How many observations? How many variables? 6. 6, right? Is this clear to all of you guys, everyone? Clear? SAS programming steps. This is very important for you guys to understand. You will say SAS programming steps are 2 types. One is data step. Second one is proc step. Data step for what? To create the data set. To print the result of a. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Right? So when you run this program, this come in data step. Yes or no? When you run this comes in. Now data step starts with data and ends with. Yes or no? Proc step starts with proc statement and ends with. Is it difficult to understand? Clear. When you go to the log window, when you created this data set, when you run this program and created this data set, by default, how it is showing? Options, no date, no timer. It's showing that no source and non-syntax check. It is not doing any such things which is given option. Is given data, staff, infile, the file path, input, column inputs, in format, reading, format, writing, and run. Yes or no? It's showing the note as what the infile is reading data from this file path. The file name is going for this is the file path. The owner of this SAS which I'm running, my name is Devendra330. It's my cloud name. It is given access, read, write, read, and read. I have all the access. Whatever data set I create, I have a reading, writing, removing, updating, deleting. I can do anything. I have all the access here. Last modified, today's date, along with the date time is given. What is the file size is coming, which is given in bytes. How many records it is reading from the data? 18. What is the maximum record length? If you're defining 1 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 35, what is that maximum? 59. Is this clear? Right. The data set goes to which library by default? How many observations are there? How many variables are there? How much real-time CPU time and system CPU time took? 0 seconds. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Memory occupied by what? Some KBs, operating system memories and all given. There is nothing to worry about it. Just you understand how the log window output comes. Yes or no? Right? Clear now? What will happen, guys? I save the code and I close my SAS system. Whatever there in the work library, how will you check in work library? You'll go to the libraries. Inside the libraries, you can see the work library is coming. Inside the work library, you have the dataset which you created since morning. Everything is there. What will happen if you close? Not like SQL master database, whatever table gone, it is there. But in SAS, whatever then work library, everything is going to vanish the moment you close it. So that means what? We have to keep the data sets into our permanent library. So we'll talk about what? SAS libraries. Okay. This is very, very critical things here. SAS library are 3 types. One is SAS permanent library. Okay. Second one is SAS work library, which is called SAS temporary library. Are you getting it? Third one is what? SAS user defined library. Yes or no? Are you getting it? If you go to SAS library, can you see SAS user SAS help is coming? There are some other libraries are also there, right? They SAS is what? It's a user defined library. But SAS user SAS help, SAS user and SAS help, these are the permanent library. How will you see that? If you go to SAS help and expand, it will show some data sets are there for practice. Can you see this? This is the inbuilt data set for your practice is given. Now, when you say temporary is called work library, yes or no? Then, if you say user defined library, it is given as this, or we can create our own library as well. Clear now? Now, next is how to create an user defined library. How do you go for defining your user defined library? The syntax for this is that libname, right? Then libref, then the path, and you can say run. This is syntax. Now, how will I go for doing this? I'll go to my folder. This is my raw data. This is my code. I want to keep the data set into which folder path? SAS dataset. So I right click on this. I go to the properties. I copy this file path here. Can you see this? I copy this file path. So I write here, libname is a statement. The library name which I'll create called SSN1 is my library name. I'll give the file path and I will say run. If I run this program, what is saying in the log window? Can you see this? libref SSN1 is successfully assigned. So you get this message, yes or no? That means if you go to the libraries, you can see SSN1 is there. Are you getting it? Now, how to get data to your permanent library? So when you're creating this data set here, if you want to take it to the permanent library, you will write SSN1 dot. Now, if you run the program here, it says log window. The data set goes to which library? If you go back to the libraries, SSN1, it will show the data set name is what? Yes or no? If you go back to the folder inside this data set, you will see the data set is coming as stuff. And what is the data set extension is coming? Excel file extension is what? Text file extension is what? CSV file extension is what? And SAS file extension is what? And don't ask me why SAS 7B8. I don't know. Whoever is developed the software, he has given the name like this and we have to follow it. Does it make sense to all of you guys? After running the above program and referring the dataset to SSN1 library, we can see the dataset staff.sas7bdat is created. Yes or no? Right? Important note. What is the important note? SAS program file saves with an extension of what? Huh? Extension of .sas file. SAS dataset file saves with an extension of .sas7bdat. Does it make sense to all of you guys, everyone? Clear? Right? We created the library name SSN1. Did we follow any criteria for creating a library name? Now the question is coming like this. Did we follow any criteria to create the library name? Answer is yes. To create a library name, we must follow the below criteria. Okay, the first one, it must not be more than long, right? Second, it must start with an alphabet or an underscore only. Are you getting it? Third is what? It must start with an it must follow with alphabets underscore and numbers only. Does it make sense, guys? Everyone? Shall we do a test? Ready? Can I create a library name with SSN space 1? Can
No.
we create SSN @1 has 1? No. Okay. @1. Can I create, this is called session underscore 1?
Yes.
Run this. Log window says that must follow the quoted 1 is there, right? So that means this is big no. Yes or no? This one also no. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting this, guys? This one also no. Yes or no? Guys, are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
ना मुश्किल हो रहा है समझने के लिए. Can it be? Why? Good. Did you understand now? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. When we create our dataset name and variable name, do we follow any criteria? What do you think, guys, here? Answer is
Yes.
yes. We follow the below criterias. What are the below criterias? All these same, but here you will say it must not be more than 32 characters long. Does it make sense to all of you guys? Clear? 100%? Right. Rest all is same. It must start with alphabet or an underscore and this. Now, test. I created a dataset name like this, staff 2024. Can it be a dataset name? What is it saying?
No.
There is coming for space. Okay. Now, if I put it as staff underscore 2024, but I said last space name, can it be?
No.
Throwing an error? Throwing an error? Yes or no? It is reading last is what, one value? One variable. Name is another variable. Yes or no? But for last is giving us what, dot dot dot. Is it right? Can we create a dataset variable name with this? So did you understand this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. Test. If you write sales underscore 2023 January Australia medicines, right? Can it be a dataset name?
No,
Why?
more than it.
More than 32 characters, sir.
But how did you calculate is more than 32 character? You're so intelligent. 5, 6, 10, 11, 15, 18, 19, then this is 22, this is coming 26, 29, 30, 33, 36, and this is coming to 40. Now we can say no. Yes or no? If I write the variable name is student name, can it be a variable name?
Yes, sir.
Answer is yes.
Yes.
Now, did you understand, guys, how to go for creating a data set, how to giving this library reference to read? Is this clear to all? Right. Now we'll talk about data importing and exporting from an Excel file. Okay. So what is it given here in the folder? You have some raw data. The Excel file name is what? Made underscore 2023 .xlsx file. What is the sheet name? This is the data file. Yes or no? Now we want to read this data towards SAS environment. We'll go to raw data. Right click to upload the files. You will upload the file from where? Excel file. Upload. Now it has uploaded your Excel file also. You want to go for data importing from where? You write proc import out is equal to ssn1. The library name is ssn1 made underscore 2024. Yes or no? Made underscore 2024. What is the data file? I'm giving the file name. I can give anything. I will read the file from this. Yes or no, guys? Then I write DBMS is equal to XLSX. Replace. This is the syntax I have to write. Then after that, you'll put the semicolon, not before that. It is all 3 in 1. Then sheet. What's the sheet name you have? Yes or no? Then you will say run. Look at this file. What you see is given spent space amount. Yes or no? It is given average space spent. Do you think the variable name can be space? No, right? But what happens when you run the program? Your dataset has been created, but it's created with a variable name as what? And average space. But logically, the variable name should not be coming like this. If you click on this, it is showing the name and label both are spent space amount. But do you think that is the right way to read? No, right? So what you have to do while you're reading the data, you will say options valid is equal to, if you're using options valid var name, means valid variable name. With V7 as a keyword, you can see now it is automatically reading the spent amount towards spent underscore amount. Average spend is underscore average spend. Understood now? Is this clear to all of you guys, everyone? How we go for importing the data? Now we'll go for exporting this data set. This is called importing data from an Excel file. We'll talk about data to an Excel file. So where you want to export now, tell me. In this folder, output folder, you will say properties to copy the file path. Yes or no? To export, what will I write here? Proc export. Data, not out. Data is what? ssn1 dot made underscore 2024. This is data set name. Yes or no? Here you will use out file is equal to file path, right? And what is the file name? We'll give it here. Made underscore 2024 underscore exp dot xlsx. Understood? Right? Then dbms is equal to what? xlsx and replace is a keyword you have to write. You can give a sheet name if you want to give. You give the sheet name as aha, aha, aha. Now, what you can do here, you can go for running the program. If you run this program, what is happening guys here? It's in the export of the dataset has gone by 5112 observations and 24 variables. If you go back to this, you can see the file is exported here. If you right click and download the file, you can see in your local system, the downloading is happened. If you open the file, it will come with a sheet name as what? Understood? Understood guys? How to go for reading data and how to go for writing data in SAS. Is this clear? Yes or no? Right. Now we'll talk about reading data and importing and exporting from txt file. Okay. So we have a dataset called txt file. What is the delimiter? Pipe as a delimiter, right? So first of all, how would you get this data to a raw data folder? Then select all these two together. Yes or no? Now you can see it has been uploaded the file of txt file and csv file together. Now we want to read the data from where? I'll call this file name as what? Underscore txt. I just give the name like this. The same file path, the file name is same, but the only extension is, and DBMS would be what? DLM replace, delimiter replace. And could you please tell me what is the delimiter, guys? So we'll say, did you see that? Understood? Clear now? Now, if you run this program, you'll get your dataset is coming now. Yes or no, guys, everyone? Is this coming? Now, how to go for exporting this data? You will say, this should be what? And what will write the delimiter here? This time I'll give the delimiter as what? Now, if I run this program, I can see my file has been exported with what? txt file, yes or no? If I download the file, my file is downloaded. If I open, what will the delimiter? Are you getting this, guys? Is it that difficult? No? Very good. Now we'll talk about what, guys? Data importing and exporting from where? Okay. Perfect. So we'll be doing it what? CSV file. Are you getting it, guys? Now for CSV file, what do you write here? Extension? CSV. CSV file, what is the delimiter is going to be? No. Called CSV replace. Are you getting it? Clear? Now you want to give the name as what? If I run this program, does it get you the output? Very good. While you will be exporting, what you will say here? What light here? Does it require to give any delimiter? CSV will read it by as it is, yes or no? Does it get you the CSV output here? How to check it? Now the downloading happened here. Can you see this, guys? The CSV file is coming now. Is it that difficult to understand SAS? Very good. Can you tell me in your library name is what? N1. How many datasets are there? Tell me. How did you check? How many datasets you have in your SSN1 library? Guys, how many datasets are there in SSN1 library? It is open in front of you. Your dataset library path is what? This folder path, right? Whatever datasets you're seeing, that is all called datasets. So how many datasets are there in SSN1 library?
4.
If you go to the libraries, if you go to SSN1, how many datasets will come?
4.
Are you getting this? Now, question is coming. How to describe a dataset? So you will say how to describe a data set. To describe data sets, you write proc contains data is equal to ssn1 dot start. If you run this program, it shows in the log window. The content is the procedure. Dataset name is what? ssn1 dot start. Member type is what? Dataset. Data mean dataset. Which version of SAS you're using? Version 9. When this dataset was created, what is the maximum observations? What is the variables and what is the maximum length? It is showing the host engine all about where the file is located, the path. Yes or no? And below here it's showing all the variables name in alphabetical ascending order. The number one position of the variable is what? Last name. But alphabetical is coming in A to Z. Yes or no? Date of joining is what? Numeric data type. What is the default length? 8 is all coming here. Are you getting this, guys? Right. Now, does it come in proper order? To get them in order, you have to use proc contains data with var num. If you run this var num, what is happening here? It is showing the variable names in proper order. Somebody says, hey, could you please show me only the header of my dataset? To see the header of a dataset, we have to use var num with what? Short. If you run this query, you see the header only coming. Yes or no? So we need to understand to describe our dataset, we run proc content, right? It gives output in 3 steps. What are the 3 steps I'll be showing here now? Okay, if you run this program, the first one is content procedure, second one is host engine, third one is variable attributes. So you will say the first one is contents procedure. Yes or no? Second one is what, guys? Host engine. Third one is variable or attributes. If somebody's going to ask you tomorrow, can you answer that? Everyone, can you answer this? Perfect. Now the question is coming. Why we use var num here? We use var num to see the variables list in order. Yes or no? We use var num with short to see the headers list only. Yes or no, guys? Everyone, tell me. Are you getting it? Clear now? How much? Fully? Okay. How to describe a library? So how to describe library? The library name is SSN1. It has 4 data sets. Each data set is having these many columns, something like this. But you will write here, proc contains data is equal library name is what? Dot underscore. If you run this program, underscore all underscore, it is going to show you this is the library name. This is the path of your library. It's showing all the data sets. So the member type is this. Can you see this, guys? Everyone? Clear? Then it is describing each and every dataset. One first dataset describing here May 2024. Second dataset is describing here for what? CSV file. Third dataset is explaining here what? So it's going to describe each and every dataset. So this will provide information like first number of datasets, second each datasets description. Yes or no? Are you getting this, guys? To avoid the descriptions of each datasets, what you can use here? With this, you will say NODS, means no description. If you run the program, it just shows the list of datasets. Does it explain anything later there? So this is how we call this as called use of NODS. we use NODS is an option to no description to datasets. Yes or no? Right. Now, variable types. How many types of variables are there, guys? How many types of variables are there? There are two types of variables. What are those? Numeric and character. Now, variable types and its lengths. Okay. Now, when it comes to the variable length, number one, default character variable length is 8 characters. Second, maximum character length can be up to 32,767. Third, default numeric length is 8 bytes equal to 16 digits. So that is the reason why for any numeric variable, we don't define the length. 16 to 17 digits default means it is too lengthy, it can read. Now we'll do a test. Shall we do a test now? I created this data set here. I created this data set. Have I defined any length for these characters? No. Suprabhatam. Is it more than 8 characters? Sasmita Lenka. Is it more than 8 characters? Okay. If I run this program, does it read more than 8 characters? Is reading up to Suprabha and Sasmital. Sasmita Lenka is not coming and Suprabhatam is also not coming. Why? Default is going to read up to what? 8 characters. So how to read this properly now? You have to give student name colon length as 20 dot. That means now it will read up to what? Is it coming? Right. Same way for the age, I put some values like this. What is the age is coming here? होता है मतलब वो सुप्रभातम कभी से आए पता नहीं लेकिन है. If you run this program, what will happen? By default is going to read up to what? How that age is coming? Age is coming, but with some exponential value. Yes or no? So how to read the name now properly? We'll say colon 20 dot. Is this clear? Not dollar. Colon 20 dot. Now if you run this program, does it read? It is reading, but again it's showing as what? Are you getting this, guys? Now if you go to this, you see the number is coming this way in the output window. But you go to the number like result window, it will show this way. It is reading, so nothing to worry about more than this. Is this clear to all of you? So what's the default length of the character value? What is the maximum length of the character value? 760. What is the default length of the numeric value? Which is equal to, that's it. Yes or no? Now, if I say, have you done all these things, guys, everyone? We have done this. You also completed importing and exporting also. Yes or no? Now we have to do only two things. How to create a new data set from an existing data sets, how to copy from one library to another library. Okay. Now, how to create a new data set from an, okay? Give me one existing data set name. Data staff 2 set ssn1 dot staff. This data set goes to which library? Right? If you run this program, it's saying that 18 observations read from this data set and the new data set is created as what? If I write the query here, stab 3 with SSN1. That means you're creating a new dataset called stab 3, copying data from where? What is the use of set statement? Reading data from existing dataset. Now, if you run this program, where do you see the dataset goes to? Yes or no? If you go back to the libraries, if you look at SSN1, you have stab and stab 3 is coming. But if you go to the work library, you will see stab 2 is coming. Yes or no? So we use set statement to read data from an. Now there's a test. Shall we go for a test now, guys? I want to create a new dataset called made new from May 2024. How will I do it? Data set. Yes or no? This goes to which library? If I write SSN1, then I will not take it to SSN1. Why? Because I have given only 5 GB. If I keep data over here, it will occupy my memory. If I keep it to work library, if I close it, it's not going to keep any memory. Everything could vanish. So I should write it to which library? Does it have the same records? Right. Now, how to copy datasets from one library to another? Shall we go for doing this? Good. Now let's create libname. This is the dataset path is given, right? So do you have student inquiry 1, 2, 3 datasets here? No, right? Student 1, 2, 3 datasets is there in which library? Student inquiry 1, 2, 3 is there? Yes or no? Version 1, version 2, version 3 dataset is there, but it's not there in what? SSN1. It is not there. Yes or no? So to copy student inquiry version 1 to version 3 datasets from work library, yes or no? To SSN1 library. How will you do that? Proc copy in which library? Right? Out is equal to what? Select which datasets will go for. Student underscore inquiry version 1 and if you don't write select, it will take all this. Are you getting it? Now if you run this program, what will happen? It has copied all these 3 datasets, has gone to which library? Can you see this? Now if you go back to the library called SSN1, what do you see? It is coming from where? Right. Now to delete all the datasets from work library, you delete all the datasets from work library. How will you do that? Chale jao idhar, select all. Can it be happen? No. Right click, one by one delete, one by one delete, one by one delete. But better is what? Proc datasets library is equal to work, and you can use, if you do kill in the work library, whatever is there, everything is killed now. Nothing is there. It is empty. Yes or no? Does it make sense to all of you guys? Answer is never ever practice this. You never know when the dataset is important to you, but you have killed. Some of the program which is connected to the work library, everything is killed. The program will not run. If it is that important, you know that my work, my purpose is completed, you can go for killing it. Otherwise not. Clear? So guys, what we have done now, we have finished your session 1 at the right time. Right guys?